everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Lucid's Tournament Game 7, where we are playing Helheim. This is turn 55. Let's jump into things. Okay, so we are still at peace. No one has attacked us, but we got a whole bunch of different things. A whole bunch of, what is it? Tongues in the fire, or fucking pots in the... We got a whole lot. There's a phrase that I'm thinking of, but I can't. My brain is blanking on what that phrase is. But it means we've got a whole lot of things going on. So, let's take a look at the many things that we have happening. So, first up, Memoria has claimed the Inner Throne. Alright, interesting. Then we have a whole host of site searches and ritual casts. So, let's go through them. We got a Voice of Apsu, found nothing. Bowl of Blood, found nothing. Dark Knowledge, nothing. We did some reanimation. Got a Corpse Man construction, reanimation. Augury, nothing. Gnome Lore, nothing. We got a Voice of Apsu that found not one, but two Enchanted Wells. Now, Enchanted Wells are just +1 water gem sites, so not a huge deal, but that's nice, you know. Nothing with the horror specs. We were successful with Bind Ice Devil. We got Nikafor. We'll take a look at Nikafor after we get through all the events. Bowl of Blood found nothing. Harspecs nothing. Reanimation. Dark Knowledge. Corpse Man Construction. Auspex. And then we are into our blood hunting. So, only one of our site searches, the Voice of Apsu, that found, were kind of... That was kind of an unlucky round, right? We're having this mix of decently lucky rounds and then decently unlucky rounds, rinse and repeat. But I'm not really going to complain. Again, this is kind of down to a stylistic preference. Though, realistically, there are times in the game where it is more efficient to site search remotely. And there are times in the game where it's more efficient to site search manually, right? I just always kind of tend towards the site searching remotely. So I don't like to move my mages around consistently, etc., etc. And I'm a really big believer in the concept that more gem income is far more valuable than more gems stored. That being said, there are definitely caveats to that. Anyways, moving on. We had a very good turn blood hunting. We got, what is that? 120 blood sacrifices out of just 3 areas. 53 blood slaves in Tiny Willow is intense. Now, that's a bunch, right? And that's not to be expected constantly, but that's pretty damn good. So that's nice. Puts us back into a very nice position for what we're trying to accomplish. We've got a couple of battles to witness. An attack in Blue Moss Forest. This will be ×3 for this She-Lord attacking. Every time it gets put to sleep, and then it gets routed via panic. So we'll see if anything else changes, or if it's going to be around 3 with this. It blesses itself. Oddly, Whitewood is casting Heal, right? It had been previously casting Swarm, right? So it's just repeatedly casting Heal now. I guess because maybe some of these guys are hurt. Weird. Now it's swapping over to Vine Arrow. A Misform. So part of the problem here is that this She-Lord is getting to just do all of its buffs. Because previously it's been accosted by swarms and then surrounded by Vinemen. The sleep comes. No success so far. Sleep Cloud. Oh. Oh, nope. Yeah, we got it. Fine Arrow. Web. No, you're supposed to be casting Panic, remember? What are you doing, Whitewood? You had a winning strategy. My man. Wait. He's at 41 fatigue. He runs in. He's gonna try to beat this She-Lord to death with a Thistle Mace. And immediately dies. Was that off of... That looked really weird. With a ranged attack. Okay. Charge body. That's what the odd animation that I saw was. I was like, that looks weird. Something just happened there. So it was a combination of a large charge body proc, a large hit from a Frost Brand, and then the cold damage from the Frost Brand that just chunked the Ivy King down in one go. That's sad to me, because the Ivy... that guy, Whitewood, right? He had a winning strategy that he employed twice previously, and then this time he just completely ignored it. And it was Sleep Cloud, Panic. If he wakes up, Sleep Cloud him again, Panic. Like, but I hate Panic, bear that in mind. But in this particular instance, it was working. So why change it, AI? Very sad, very sad. Anyways, that is a success for Tirnanog. They have taken Blue Moss Forest back. We have a battle in Saren Forest. Tirnanog versus Abyssia. So we have a series. This is almost kind of like Roman-esque, right? The Hastati, Triari. What's the first one? It's because Hastati's the second one, and Triarii are the third line. Is it Principe? It's been too long, my Roman history lessons. But anyways, we've got a whole bunch of Tuatha warriors. Real cool cats. Gonna kick some ass. We've got some Kushi hounds in the back. We've got a couple of great eagles. Like, I love these models. I wish more beasts like these things were awesome, like really cool, because like had good stats or good special abilities or things like that, because the models on these guys look awesome. It's so cool, but for what it takes to get them, they're typically not very good. We've got Skeletor the Prophet, and we've got some Tuatha sorceresses in here. I think we've got two. We've got a She-Lord. We've got some Bow Banshees. Probably butchering that. We've got some She Champions, some Furbolg, Druids. We got a whole bunch of stuff. And on the Abyssian side, we have... Yeah, it's just PD. Okay, well, you know, that's less exciting. Less exciting. We've got some gifts of flights that go out. We've got a little group of Tuatha warriors that are kind of like the sacrificial, not sacrificial, but like the, you know, the front line that are going to go out and engage while the back is getting buffs, gift of flight, those type of things. Definitely, Tirnanog has an interesting setup with their whole gift of flight scenario. My assumption being is that they're definitely going to go for a kind of like mass flight option here in a little bit. If they're not close, I would assume that they're probably pretty close. These guys, the Golden Spear does not have a charge bonus, right? But they don't really need it. Their freaking Bless is very killy. So these guys are very scary in the concept of doing like a flight situation. The only... I was gonna say the only thing being is that, like, you know, maybe you can out defense them, but those guys are real sketch. I do not really know what to do about the Tuatha Warriors. They are very strong. Anyways, so that's a big, easy win. Not big, easy win for Tirnanog. And then we have a battle in the Fortress of Robberholm as we attack Abyssia's throne. And there's not really much here. We will see how it goes. We've got some hell herding, some hordes of skeleton coming out. Our ice devils are gearing up. The hell herdings go. Oh, there actually is someone here. We've got Rotflesh, the child of Anthrax. Sweet. I think this is a national hero for him, actually. And then just a whole bunch of Horde of Skeleton spam supporting our peeps. Oh, actually, I do like that. I really actually do like that. I like that our Hangas are high enough in death magic that they feel good enough to drain life spam. Drain life spam with enough high death casters can actually really fuck up an enemy. So let's touch base on that here in a second. We got to touch base on what is Bifrons, the Ice Devil, and Drain Life, because that's an interesting aspect that I haven't really been thinking about. We have an unexpected event in Wise Spring Grove. A treasure has been found. 945. Okay, my luck skills are abso-fucking-lutely paying for themselves. Holy shit. I have been incredibly blessed as far as luck goes. To the point that I'm getting somewhat worried that we might have 10-15 turns upcoming of like mediocre or negative events. We got another big gold event, bunch of gems out of this, and a Ring of Regeneration, which is that's fantastic. Holy shit. We've got a battle in Kohnberg where we get another gold event and some Dominion. Holy shit. Holy shit. And then in Tiny Willow, we get a plus defense. Definitely not gonna look my nose or turn my nose up at that, right? And Tiny Willow has decent it has Bone Tribe. So Bone Tribe with their Spadums actually hit pretty hard. So that's cool. We caught a sneaking enemy in Sanafe. And then we did a whole lot of patrolling. So let's take a look first at... Oh, it's not Bifrons. Bifrons was last turn. This turn we got Nikafor. Okay, so Nikafor is a interesting Ice Devil. Two special things about Nikafor. Nikafor does not have arm slots, right? Hand slots. Because he has two icicle fists. You see the little icicles on his model. Really cool. I mean, it's a little bit of a bummer that you can't put custom gear in his hand slots, but the icicle fists are pretty cool because they hit decently hard based off of his strength, right? 28 damage is pretty good, and it's piercing damage, so it ignores, what is that, a third of an enemy's protection. So this is actually higher than it might be. So that's pretty cool. He's got high attack skill. That's nice. They are length 1 weapons, so that's a little But the other thing is these do additional cold damage, so additional fatigue damage. So he's actually pretty good at fatiguing out a super combatant or a like an enemy thug or something like that, right? And throw this in, he has higher ice protection than other people do. So he has ice protection 4. Take Bifrons, for example, only has ice protection 3. So he can actually get higher protection than most of the others. It's not significantly higher, mind you, right? But it's a little higher. And when the little higher becomes close to 40, when you edge closer to that 40 cap, it's like, oh shit. Right? that's a pretty nice situation. So Nikifor is actually a pretty interesting chassis. It's kind of cool with the paralysis poison, with his fatigue damage. He can kind of fuck another thug up. So I'm pretty interested to see how he works out. And then, oh right, we wanted to look at what was it? Is it Drain Life? Is that an evocation? No, it's a alteration. So alteration is, so Drain Life is actually a really, really good spell, right? Range, whatever. But it's very high precision. You're very likely to hit with it, right? It's very low fatigue cost. It's armor negating damage, so we don't give a shit, right? How high your protection is, whatever. And it drains the life, right? So all of the damage that you deal with this, right, will drain back to the attacker at a rate of, what is it? Life drain will yield a half HP and 2 FP per HP drained. So life drain, high death mages can drain life to hurt someone at a very high precision, and armor negating, while healing themselves for part of the damage that they deal, and reducing their own fatigue from part of that damage. So Drain Life is actually a really, really good spell. The only thing is that normally you're not waltzing around with a whole shit ton of level 4 death mages. And if you are, right, they normally default to stuff like Horde of Skeletons. It's very cool that our Hangadrots have the, and I'm sure this is going to fail me in certain situations, but very cool that they have the wherewithal to be like, oh shit, drain life, drain life, drain life, right? Super neat. Very, very neat. Love it. We probably need to get them up to Soul Vortex land, by the way. Anyways, moving on. What are we doing this turn? We had a decently successful previous turn. Very good blood hunting. Meh on the ritual site searching, but it's fine. And we haven't been attacked. Cool. What's our plan? Our plan is to continue forward. We kind of talked about this last turn. One more turn, getting a Palisades up on Defaros. Okay. I screwed up last turn, by the way, and I sent our Prophet, Hanga 4, I sent them to Helheim. I thought I was sending them to Saramatia, and I thought I was sending Sigurdriva to Helheim, but I got that swapped. I flipped them. So this turn I was planning on sending Hanga 4 to Robberhome so that they could next turn take the throne of the first stage. Unfortunately, we're gonna take an additional turn. So currently, Hanga 4 is heading to Saramatia, and then next turn they'll head to Robberhome. Turn after that, they will claim the throne of the first stage. That's going to do a couple of really important things for us. Spreading Dom 3 spread is going to be really good for us getting our Dominion up here into this area. Most of these places have few candles, right? So we'll be able to spread pretty decently. That's going to be a big deal for us, because Dominion spread is pretty important. Another thing is obviously changing our scales to increase magic is a real big deal, right? I say that, but does it apply? Does it say that in a... It just says increases magic. Dominion gets luck +1. So actually, I take that back, right? This isn't gonna give us... It's not gonna give us Dominion bonus to magic. It's just gonna increase the magic in Robberhome, right? I don't know if that's gonna... I don't know if that's increases magic all the way up to magic 3. I'm not sure. I kind of feel like I need to look this up. Regardless, that's potentially a research opportunity for us, right? Depending on how much it gives us in that location, it could be worthwhile to stop or even move our research location to Robberholm from Kronberg. Probably not, but it could be beneficial to, instead of continuing in Kronberg, start in Robberholm and make sure we do that every turn. Because just the difference of like 2 points can be a very big deal, right? 2 points per every single one of these guys adds up turn after turn after turn. So that's just something to keep in mind, right? And then the other thing is obviously giving all of our sacreds +1 magic resistance is pretty fucking good. Our Hangas are already at magic resistance 8. If we take a look at our Hell Herdings, they're already magic resistance 14, going up to 15 would be a pretty good break point. Our Jarls sit at magic resistance 18, or 17, we're in Drain Scales, right? So that's going to be a nice boon for us if we are capable of getting that onto our Bless. So that'll be sweet. We are building a temple and a lab in Robberholm. We have gold here, by the way, that we are sitting on. This is basically, I'm counting this as extra gold because this is gold from that special event that we got. I'm intentionally not spending it, even though we could. Our recruitment actually isn't that great right now because our units are so expensive. However, right, I want to next turn put down a lab in Polmania, so I'm making sure to save that money this turn because we might not have a good event turn next turn. We might be stuck with just what we make, and even then we might actually have a bad turn where we lose gold, right? So I want to make sure that we have the capability of putting this lab down next turn without causing too terribly many issues, because I want to increase, again, big focus on our blood economy. So I want to increase that. We've already got King 2 out here, or King 10 out here. He is ready and patrolling. We are sending 1, 2, 3. No, that's not right. 3, 4, 5 Jarls out to Polmania. They will be blood hunting starting next turn. So that's going to be a pretty big deal. You know, the thought occurs to me. I wonder if it would be worthwhile to take like one of my Hangas and start boosting them in blood until we get them up to the level to be able to cast Curse of Blood, right? Because if we did, we could in theory start getting a whole lot of we got so many blood options, right? So the reason why I'm going to this concept is we could in theory we could start producing vampire lords every turn, and then we could use those vampire lords and replace our Jarls, right, as blood hunters, or we could just find new locations to blood hunt with the vampire lords. Basically, Jarls aren't the greatest blood hunters. I don't know though. I mean, I definitely think designating a Hangadrot to be kind of like the, oh, we're gonna start summoning devil or summoning vampire lords with you would be a good idea. The issue being is I can't actually do this with my god because death is the one thing that I didn't take, right? I did almost a complete rainbow on my god, except the way that I was able to kind of afford and tweak things a little bit was by not taking death on him, which got me a couple of other like little cheated points here or there. Which is weird. I don't know that it was actually worthwhile in the long run. But so like that makes it to where I can't do some weird things. And I was like, oh, I don't need to do death on my god because I have such high death on like my Hangadrots. But now I'm kind of in this weird scenario. Anyways, that's a pretty simple fix for us. So we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Anyways, what else are we doing? We're moving a whole bunch of people towards Palmania. We're moving Hanga 4 up towards Sarmatia. We're building a temple and lab in Robberhome. We're continuing to build palisades in Zimria. We are finishing up a palisade in Defaros. We are recruiting Van Heers in Koenberg. Our effort to put lightless lanterns on all of our hearses here is going well. Doing pretty good. We will have Blood Magic 7, not this turn, but the following turn, which times pretty well because we have we're doing an Ice Devil with Cold as Ice this turn, and that'll be the last Ice Devil, and then we'll have a spare turn, and with that spare turn, we're probably going to give Cold as Ice this Bloodthorn, which will make him Blood 5, and then we'll probably make for example, we'll probably make either a Armor of Souls, right? Or we'll make a Brazen Vessel. We kind of need one of both, right? But we'll definitely take we'll take one of them and make them that next turn, right? We need to have Blood 5 for that. Then after we have that, right, we can flip back to doing like Archdevils the next turn with Cold as Ice, and then Loki will have enough items to then be Blood 5, and he can either participate in the Archdevil summonings. I think Archdevils are Blood 4. Yeah, they're Blood 4 Fire 2, so he just needs one booster. And technically Cold as Ice doesn't need a booster, but we need the boosters for later, right? So I'm trying to weave the boosters in. So every turn is valuable now, right? Every turn, especially for our god, every turn is valuable. So now I'm trying to like weave in when we make a particular thing, right? So let's aside from that, most of what we're doing is just forging and, again, continuing to site search remotely. So let's just go to all of our different locations and see what's going on. Not doing anything in Osens in Koenberg. Not doing anything of major import, except we are making another pair of Earth Boots. So we've got one pair of Earth Boots here on just, you know, as a spare. We've got one on Svart 1. What I want to do, and we're actually recruiting another Svart, I want to start getting Svarts in most of our main locations. So I want to get a Svart up here in Sarmatia. And I want them to have access to Earth Boots so that they can be Earth 3. And I would honestly really like to get some Bloodstones so that they can be Earth 4 and use Summon Earth Power to be Earth 5. Because Summon Earth Power Earth 5 means that... Now, this is a long-term goal, right? This isn't a short-term goal. That means that they can do basically any of the buffs, right? They can do Army of Gold or Lead, right? They can do, I think very importantly, Weapons of Sharpness, right? Super important stuff. We might go for Marble Warriors shortly. After we hit Blood 7, we might try to run up to Alteration 7 for Marble Warriors, because that's a pretty big boon, and if we can kind of manage that and things are going well, we might just straight run to Army of Gold or Army of Lead after that to level 9. I don't know, though, because, like, we've got a heavy reliance on what's going on with our blood economy, so we'll have to see. Again, even though we've made pretty big improvements, pretty big strides, it's turn 55, and our research speed is not good, right? We're doing what we can, but it's still going to take a lot. Like, honestly, I should probably, whether Robberholm turns into a good research location or not, I should probably start, as soon as I can, recruiting there every single turn and recruiting every single turn in Könberg. And I should probably kick up the scenario where I'm constantly making enough lightless lanterns and owl quills for both locations. That's probably going to be the only way I actually catch up. Anyways, moving on. So we're making another pair of earth boots because we want to have access to some good earth buffs, even if for no other reason, even if we don't do anything else aside from potentially doing like Legions of Steel, Strength of Giants, etc. That can make them more efficient in accomplishing that task, right? So it's just a good thing to do. And also, we're kind of at that point where I talked about it. We might want one or two more of hammers, but I'm not sure. This turn, I actually kind of scraped a little bit to make sure that I had all of the options. One of the other things, right, is with getting another Svart, I'm not just getting another Earth Caster for battle, I'm also getting another Earth Forger, and I kind of need another Earth Forger, right? Alright, so that's what we're doing in Könberg. In Dead Forest, doing a whole bunch of site searching, right? Almost everyone except for Pyro 4 is doing something. Doing a Vine Shield, right? Another important item. We're doing Harspex, Augury, Voice of Apsu. Okay? We're doing 2 Lightless Lanterns. We're doing another Dragon Helmet. Important. We're doing Boots of the Messenger. Great. Fantastic. In Dopharos, we know we have one more turn. In Brightgate, we've got 2 Bowls of Blood and a Harspex going off. Oh, also in Dead Forest, we're recruiting another Jade Sorceress because I need more Water Mages. Specifically, because I think we've got so many Water Gems, and I'm hopeful that with another couple Voice of Apsu casts, we're gonna net ourselves about 15 or so as far as like water gems go per income. I want to get I'm probably going to do some Naiad Warriors something. So we'd have these Kidnids or Kidnides, or I don't know how you pronounce that, but they're pretty decent warriors, kind of run-of-the-mill stats, but okay on everything. And they take buffs decently well. And what we're looking for, right, is we're looking for chaff that is better, that's not just going to insta-die every single time, right? Compared to, like, skeletons or things like that. And plus, water is one of those things where I consistently get myself into the situation where I just have a shit ton of water. I don't really have a great way to use it, because it's, whatever. But so I've been doing more and more research on things. Naiad Warriors is definitely one of those routes that we can go that's probably pretty good. Okay, so we're doing that. In Sarmatia, we are doing some Auspex, Corpse Construction, Reanimation, all that good stuff. We're actually making a Spirit Helm with Sigurdriva, and this is for Gerskogel. We're going to put a Spirit Helm on her. And we're making an Eye of Aiming. So we kind of talked about this, the concept of making, take a look at it, of making some precision options. Eye of Aiming is +8 precision. Now, it does take out your own eye, so I don't know if you get the full 8 or not, but it is a overall buff to your precision. So Gerskogel already has 16 precision. The goal is to get very high precision, and then with something like the Spirit Helm, which is this item, auto spells, it's decently high protection, which is good, but it also auto spells Lightning Bolt. So having a very high precision Lightning Bolt, and then also having a very high precision Flame Bolt, or if we put like a crossbow on her, right, something like that, like a Soul Slay crossbow, which we could do. Just having those means that she's just like pew pew killing someone, pew pew killing someone, and that just seems fun, right? I just have this. It's definitely not worthwhile. This is kind of like a little side quest that I'm putting on myself, but I want to gear out Gear Skogul to have just like super high precision and just like go into fights, storm it up, and then just like zap people, zap people, because it just seems fun, you know. So we'll see how it goes. So that's happening. More Dark Knowledge. We're doing some more Storm Spool, and then a whole bunch of Bowl of Blood casting. So I'm actually taking a little bit of a turn to, because we got so many Blood Slaves this turn, I'm actually taking a little bit of a turn to try to get as much Bowl of Blood casting as possible before we get ourselves into a war, right? I wanna get all of this stuff done, and blood sites are, as I've said, right, they're rarer, but some of them are really good, so we want to see if we luck out on those sooner rather than later. We're also at, again, I talked about this, a research breakpoint where obviously I would want more research, but these guys aren't going to get us to Blood 7 a turn earlier, so I feel comfortable breaking them off and doing some other stuff for now. Okay, Bune is still up here doing his enhanced reanimation, so that's good. Then up in Robber Home, we covered this, but I'm building a lab, building a temple, and then everyone else is patrolling because we have massive unrest in Robber Home, and I'm assuming that the unrest is so high here because those villains were sitting, or were they villains? No, they were satyrs and centaurs. Were sitting on Robber Home for like, they've been sitting there for like 10 turns. So I'm assuming it's so high because of that. And we're going to try to just patrol it down, and hopefully that won't be any issue. We're also doing a little bit of site searching with Hanga 5 and site searching with Oriax, hoping we get lucky in doing that. All right. And then in Helheim, right? What are we doing in Helheim? We're doing more reanimation. We are probably going to pull the Carls, right, off of reanimation shortly. We might have one of them just continue it so that we have a little bit of reanimation going on at all times. We more likely will probably send one out to Osens and have them start reanimating there every single turn, and then the others might go to, like, I might spread them out so that we have them available, but we're probably going to stop spamming reanimation every single turn. One, because we have a fair amount of, we have the chaff to do the blood hunting that we want to do, but now I'm kind of in this place where I want to use these death gems for more important things. Skull staffs, skull faces or helmets or whatever. Those types of things. And those are expensive. And our death gems, aside from that, need to be preserved. Especially if I want to eventually go for something like maybe Well of Misery or something like that. So the reanimation has kind of served its purpose. We might have one person continue it, but for now, this will probably be the last turn of a large amount of reanimation, and we're doing another Revive King. So that'll be that, okay? We are doing more Gnome Lore. We're doing more corpse construction. We're actually making a Scutata Volturnus because I think Scutata Volturnus is probably one of the best shields in the entire game. We can take a look at that item if people haven't seen it. It's this one right here. It's a pretty decently strong shield, right, with a decently high parry. It's not crazy good, but it's better than something like a Vine Shield. It's pretty damn decent. It costs 5 air gems and 5 earth gems. This is slightly reduced if you're using a hammer, which we are. Can't be used by mounted units, which means we can't put it on like our Hellherd or our Van Jarls or anything like that.